Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a lovely Sunday afternoon match. We have here Will Bloodworth and Whappy facing off against each other, representatives of League of Legends and Team DuckTales, respectively. Two excellent players in the Final Fantasy Randomizer world. And with me tonight, or this afternoon, is Edgeworth. How you doing, Edge?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to this marathon race. I do have to step out at about the 2-hour mark, but I suspect with this team comp that I will be able to jump in after that.
Yeah, we're probably going to be here for a little while. We've got 4 thieves, and even though we have some excellent players tonight, that's going to take some time to get up and running. What kinds of early strategies do you think we're going to see out of these guys, Ed?
I think there's going to be a lot of digging for equipment because if there is a Thor Hammer, Mage Staff, any of the spellcasting items, that is a huge swing. Or a Mazmune is also a pretty big swing. So there's about 4 or 5 items that you're looking at that can really make a huge difference. So hopefully those show up a little sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these flags, this is stage 5, and previously we've had flags where you don't really have to open a lot of chests, and so something like this would probably slow you down because you're hunting around for that Mazmune, you're hunting around for something that's going to make you feel better about your 4 thieves. But since we've got these loose items, everybody's going to have to be looking for those anyway, so maybe it won't impact them too badly, but it's still going to be probably pretty swingy, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just waiting for everybody to get readied up in chat right now, so we should be starting.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get going in just a second here, and we'll see what Canaria has in store for our racers and our 4 thieves this afternoon on Randomania 2. And not too much in the weapon shop. We've got a chain armor and not too bad silver bracelet in the armor shop, so that's nice. And cheap cabins right out the gate. And both of our runners visiting the item shop, picking up their early items. No need to check the magic shop, so a lot of the town visits will be a lot quicker in this with this party comp than they have been in the past. And Will Bloodworth is our first one to get out of Canaria and start running up to the Temple of Fiends, and there's a huge run at the beginning of the encounter table, so that's going to be really nice. And Will checking out the top left, 2k gold, not too much else here in the Temple of Fiends. And he does a quick reset. And it may be that Edge is having some microphone issues. Not sure, but we'll keep going.
Sorry about that. Just taking care of some SRL stuff. Looks like we've got a pretty decent run, but now gotta deal with Garland.
Yeah.
Or not.
So it looks like both racers are deciding to head back to Canaria and do some more shopping.
So, just out of curiosity, did anyone check the item that the king had?
I don't think so, no. They ran right up and didn't bother checking out that. But that's an option that isn't typically used in a lot of races. But I suppose with this 4 Thieves setup, you might want to take a look in there.
Yeah, I think if the magic is absolutely awful, like just nothing but lock 2, and all of that, you pretty much have to talk to the. And if you get the key, it's such a huge swing.
It looks like Will Bloodworth is following up on your advice. He sensed it psychically, and it's the tail right out of the gate. That's interesting. That's going to make those thieves into ninjas as soon as they can get off the ground.
Yeah, probably about as nice as you can find, short of the canoe and the floater.
And Whappy's heading up to Matoya's cave to check out the 3 chests there. Never know. You can always find something interesting in here once in a while. Oh, and there's a ribbon. That's nice. 272 gold and a flame armor. And Whappy tries optimistically to equip the flame armor on his thief, and it's not happening today.
Now, it's interesting. If I was in Whappy's shoes, I might be very tempted to sell that flame armor, but because Will knows he has the tail, he's probably going to hang on to it.
Yeah, and we'll see if Whappy ends up coming back to Canary and doing that king check. It's not something that I think everybody would think of doing, because it's easy to forget that king will just hand you an item immediately without having to take out Garland. Looks like Will's heading over to Provoca to check out the pirate's item.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases, if you have magic to take out Garland, then that is absolutely the right move, but no magic. Lit 2 and Fire 3.
Yeah, so that's going to be a nice AoE once they get going. And Will knows that it's worth checking there because he has the tail. And there's a cat claw there. Not too much else.
Heck yeah, no black mages though.
Yeah. Still waiting for the 4 black mage, 4 cat claw seed.
Alright, got wooden armor.
And it looks like nobody's even bothering to try the pirates, and that makes sense. Not much you can do maybe with your set, but Will is gonna try it out.
Yeah, I mean, Silver Bracelet on the lead character is going to give some survivability. At least I was hoping they would, but it looks like the pirates are swinging pretty big.
Yeah, and that just kind of gives you a preview of next week's flags, because as of tomorrow in Stage 6 in the league, it's Unsafe Pirates on, so visiting Provoca isn't going to be that walk in the park as it usually is.
Yeah, and I think Will just didn't have any armor, but I know Whappy has the Silver Bracelet, and is he just not going to go for this, or nah, he's going to try again?
And Will is checking out dwarves.
Yeah, I think some wooden armor would go kind of a long way.
Yeah, and there's a flame sword and 1,600 bucks in the dwarf cave. Nothing game changing, but a little extra money. Both of our runners are kind of just tooling around in the northern half of the southern continent, just getting what they can and trying to build up so they can actually make a run at Garland. And our tracking tonight, or this afternoon, I keep saying tonight, it's tonight in London, that doesn't help our American viewers and Canadian ones. Our tracking is by Hypes Nova, so thanks a lot, Hypes.
Yeah, and now with extended progression, Whappy is going to book it down to Elfland. And I like this move, because if you find anything in the way of swords in this area, it's definitely a big... Yeah, and there's sabers, and I think falchions are actually a little better than sabers. Yeah, and Wappy's going to go for those.
Yeah, 100 bucks each. Not a big deal with your cash you've been carrying around, so that's gonna make him feel a little better for sure. Will taking another run at the pirates, and we'll see how this goes. Quad X in Elfland.
Nothing exciting in the armor shop, and in the item shop we have no progression item, but we do have tents for excessively.
It looks like Will's pirate run is going a little better than it has in the past, but it's slow work with 3 and 4 damage a pop. So.
Oh, and there's nuke at 4, so that's a big find.
And do you know off the top of your head what level ninjas have to get to before they get some level 4 charges?
They will get 1 spell charge at 15, and then and it's for all the levels, and then they will get 1 every odd level after that.
Okay, so it's going to be in these guys' best interest to do a class change as soon as they can, if they can start their progression going. So Whappy is now giving another run at Garland. We'll see what happens. Or first
he's
run.
got a pile of swords, so there's some appreciable damage coming out. A crit for 51, and I think this is gonna go his way.
Yep. Whappy is our first to take out Garland at the 8-minute, almost 9-minute mark. And we'll see what we get here. Whappy finds out that you get the tail and the canoe, so that's going to get him going. Meanwhile, I think Will is going to keep trying out this pirate fight, and it is slowly getting there. Both sides are down about halfway, so it's a real war of attrition.
Yeah, and now Whappy can afford some more silver bracelets. So equipment-wise, he is geared up pretty well, and this pirate fight shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully, Will, though, with his punch-out strategy, find out what the pirates are guarding soon.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, we know it's not the canoe, and he's probably hoping it's the canoe because that's going to get you going, but it could also be the floater. But it seems like running down to Elfland and picking up those swords was definitely a good move for Whappy. And we'll see the difference in how well you can handle some pirates when you actually have equipment. And yeah, Whappy's making quick work. You got the canal from the pirates.
Oh gosh, we're surprised.
Will restores his couple of thieves that didn't make it. Oh, just one of the thieves, actually, that didn't make it. And he's going to make his way westward to find out if he can take out Garland. We'll see if he ends up heading down to Elfland and looking for equipment.
So yeah, with the canal now, Whappy is not able to do anything extra, but the canoe is going to let him head down to Crescent Lake.
Yeah, and that's going to put him pretty far in front of Will B for sure. So Will's still got to go down. Well, he's got to do something to figure out what to do with Garland, and we'll see now if he's going to turn to the left here, and yeah, he does. So he's probably going to make his way down. Whappy does not mess with the Peds. The thieves are not going to have a good time with the Peds.
No, they are not. We have the slab for sale, so kind of nice that it's not the floater, and the slab is one of those items that you can kind of comfortably put off until you have the money for it. And there are some old men doing yoga in the park, and we'll see what they have.
They're really disorganized. It's they have the chime, and that's not the floater. That's not what Whappy was hoping for.
No, not at all.
So now he's got to evaluate his options. In this seed, in these flags, we've got to incentivize Ice Cave. So that's probably going to be your first stop, and it looks like that's exactly where he's headed. Unless he wants to do some volcano chests and levels.
Yeah, I think checking out the armory is not a bad option here. With 4 thieves, I mean, you're not going to be able to kill anything, and if you run into anything unrunnable, it's a reset, but I like your odds of getting out of here with at least some of the items.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and for our viewers that are not as deeply familiar with the Final Fantasy mechanics, thieves have a lot of luck, and luck is your stat that lets you run. So when you have 4 thieves, you're probably gonna get out of fights. Your problem is when you run into unrunnable encounters, which could be anywhere in the randomizer.
Alright, so there's a coral sword, and for the first time in FFR history, someone is happy to find that.
And a heal hat, which is nice.
Yeah, so first spellcasting item, we find a heal helm. Not exactly the one you're looking for, but... And this is a real ugly fight. And they're only guarding 232 gold, so no lunch money. Oof. 1 heal potion as well, so that's not so hot. Pro Ring is super useful though.
And we'll be on the other side, making his way over to Garland now, and we'll see how that goes.
I don't know. I might be tempted to take some fights on that perilous tile. That perilous tile, they usually have really, really low health, and if they don't have a skill list, they don't do very much damage either. But Whappy just wants to get the heck out of town, and I don't think that's going to happen.
And Mux cremate the thieves, leaving nothing but a pile of thiefy ashes, and that's going to feel bad. And Whappy just decides, never mind on the whole volcano thing. But on the bright side, Will B is getting going. Garland was taken out, and now he can do some shopping in Caneria and start making his way to the Sages to pick up his chime, and also be disappointed.
Alright, so Will is stocking up on supplies. Whappy certainly looked like they intended to, but Elfland just, no heal potions.
No, but he did pick up some Pures, because he is headed to the Marsh Cave, and you want them in your back pocket when you're going to get poisoned and buffeted around by all of the fun monsters in the Marsh Cave.
Yeah, I don't mind this dive at all. You don't really have the survivability to get through Ice Cave, especially with the 4 forced encounter tiles. You probably have a better chance of running away from things, and your silver bracelets are pretty good against the monsters in here.
And it looks like Will B also decided that Marsh was the right move, and he's following right on the footsteps of Whappy.
Yeah, you just have to be able to dig out some equipment. Like the biggest part of the thief run is I need gear to let me hit above my weight class, and so far they really haven't found it.
Just a house in a chest for Whappy, that's not going to make anybody happy. And simultaneously encountering fights in the same room high-fiving in the north half of the marsh. Pro Cape and 1K.
Yeah, so Pro Cape, very nice to have. Definitely going to keep that.
And one nice thing about doing Marsh for sure with 4 Thieves is that you do have all that run ability. So unless you hit a really rude unrunnable, Marsh seems to be a little bit less of a pain than it could be. Then you have some cremate zombies, and that's not going to make anybody happy.
No, and Whappy wants to have the 4 Thieves rather than the Pro Cape, so there's another reset and losing some decent gear. However, I wonder if there was anything good in the link chest.
And Wappy's our first one to get down to the second floor, or the southern half of Marsh. And
yeah, and this is a reset. You can't do anything. No.
And,
maybe you can. Yeah. No, you can't.
Yeah, and that's probably an encounter that's going to pop up on both of them, and gonna make life hard in that exploring of that floor.
Yeah, it's never easy. Oh, there's Will's turn.
This is usually
and
when
he already,
I start
well, he already knows how nasty the crawls are, so that one is done.
Yeah, he may actually be able to deal with this if he can get these guys out of the way before they start throwing out their skills.
So Whappy, doing some encounter manipulation, throws out an encounter before continuing on, and well, no, you just get another one. So there's 2 back to back.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I'm surprised he's not killing the crawl, seeing as how he knows how nasty that enemy is. And darkness is actually really significant early on.
And sleep is too, and that's not gonna be a good place.
Yeah, this feels like a reset to me. Let's see how long he decides to stick this out.
Will finds a dragon sword in there. I don't know if it is thief equipable, so that's nice.
Yeah, dragon, rune, and coral are the 3 that are thief equipable. So we've seen 2 of them already.
And
hey, there's another one. So if you get through this one, good luck.
We're seeing a weird palette glitch on Will's side, where as soon as he gets hit, or all the thieves are rotating through different colors. It's a little odd.
Yeah, Will is trying to use the 3rd palette option for their characters, and it's not quite ready for prime time yet. So you get Technicolor Thieves.
Luckily for us, this is Sunday afternoon, totally not prime time, so we can have 3 palettes.
Yeah, and Whappy is going to be super disappointed when he gets into his next encounter.
He gets scorpions, runnable scorpions.
Oh, interesting. And yeah, Whappy, there's supposed to be a treasure.
I'm not sure why Whappy is reporting.
There's supposed to be a treasure chest there, so there's an issue with the ROM.
So what's the call when this kind of thing usually happens, Edge? Okay, I think Edge is going to work on sorting that out. Meanwhile, yeah, that's strange. So, like Edge said there was a spot there where there's typically a treasure chest, and that indicates something potentially went wrong with the randomization, which hasn't happened in this league yet, as far as I know. So these guys are continuing, but we're having a little bit of a sidebar discussion, and we'll have to make a determination about what's going to happen with the league here, or sorry, with the game.
Yeah, I do want to see if Will can get to that chest.
Right, because it seems like if it's just that we have one chest that seems to be in the wrong location or isn't there, but we still have the tools to continue, that this should be a completable seed. And I didn't see what if Will B got the chest that is trapped and sometimes incentivized, or what came out of there. Will's doing some healing, picking up a few more of these. And question from the chat, was that chest bugged for Will B as well? I didn't see it for sure, so not sure. I think this is the room. Oh, wait, over here. No, I think it's one over to the left, actually, from where Will B is right now.
Yeah, it's the room directly to the south of the one Whappy is gonna check. So Will probably gonna get wiped out on this.
Yeah, Will gets stoned to death by some Cerebuses. And this is the kind of thing where it's like we've got all the referees on the ice. I'm making hockey references because I'm Canadian, so that's the only sport I understand. And we're going to have to find out what the league admins decide on this call here.
Yeah, Fuzzy mentioning in chat that he believes it's the Dragon Sword chest, and we'll see if Will digs that one out again. Because thief-wise, that's actually pretty useful, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it again.
And we've had a request from Ikbin Maya, our league organizer, to pause the timers and so we can sort this one out. So it really is a stoppage on the field, stoppage of play, and we'll get this sorted out in the back rooms. Meanwhile, if you're interested in things like this, drama, excitement, strange bugs, actually there are very few bugs in the randomizer, and I've never seen anything like this happen, actually. But if you're interested, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com is a place to go. Questions from the chat, what's going on, what happened? So Whappy discovered a place in the Marsh Cave south side where a chest was supposed to be there, and there was nothing there except a kind of strange tile bug. So, yeah, we know that Will picked it up. So there's some kind of mismatch, even though everything else has been identical for these racers. So we know that the seed is correct and things are matched up. So it's very unusual for there to be some kind of glitch where we've got a chest popping up on one side and not the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go into the VOD and make a clip of it real quick.
So, a suggestion from Fuchsia Fantasy in the chat that maybe there's something wrong with Wappy's source ROM, and that's definitely a thing that could happen. We'll see. It's the hash at the beginning of the game should identify the contents of the ROM uniquely, but this actually may be a case where we didn't actually compare hashes at the beginning, and we had the seed right, we had the flags right on both sides, but a little difference in the ROM, and this can happen. And Wappy reporting that may be the case, so the team is on the investigation, and we should find out what's going on. For those of you just joining us and staring at a screen that isn't moving, we had a little bit of a glitch. Well, not a little bit. We had a glitch. And we had a mismatch between the games for both runners. Wappy's ROM had a missing chest, where Will B had a chest, and it's a normal place to have a chest. Everything should be fine, and it seems like there was some corruption in Wappy's ROM on Wappy's side. So we are figuring out what to do. League admin are on the case. Question from the chat: was the only thing different the chest? Yes, Demon, except I felt like there were also a few other graphical issues on that floor. So it seems like not everything was okay, and also, from a developer point of view, if you have the wrong source file and you do binary patches on it, you're gonna find garbage randomly in potentially anything. That we could have mismatches on HP or some obscure stat that we'd never actually see visually, but really, at that point, you can't really trust anything to be identical. So, I think we're going to start over, if we can, if we have time for everybody. And we're checking that out in the SRL room. Meanwhile, if you want more randomized games, there are other ones happening. I could tell you about them, but then you'd go away and not stay here for the resolution of this amazing suspense. So, no, there's games going on at Randomania 1 right now, and other randomizer networks. But right now we're on Randomania 2, and thanks a lot to Randomania 2 for taking care of that. And again, our tracker tonight is Hypes Nova, and thanks for doing a good job on that. Unfortunately, we'll have to roll back as soon as we get going here. Ironically, this is a reschedule of a previous race that had to get redone for other reasons. So once we get restarted, this is going to be the third time that Will B and Whappy tried to do the Four Thief extravaganza. And even the ROM and randomizer are not interested in watching Four Thieves, apparently. Question from the chat from Fuchsia: does it have to be Thieves? I think it has to be Thieves. I don't think these guys want to do anything else. They want to see Four Thieves, no chances to change, and they're ready to suck it up and deal with what that turns into. Dr. Kleider, have I ever mentioned how much I love the victory music? Well, I'm glad you like it, because this is what's happening right now. Okay, so it looks like we have agreement from the racers that they are going to re-roll, and that's how we're going to do this. So, in the back corridors of the FFR world, they are going to sort out a new seed. And that is going to set us up for another one. Try 3. I'll reset the timer. And the racers are going to get themselves prepared with a new seed, and we're going to get going with the rematch. Fuchsia says this was an interesting seed too. I agree, it was an interesting seed. Having to dive into Marsh and see what's in there. The Dragon Sword would have been interesting. The other thing that I think is pretty great about these two racers is that they are able to match each other so closely, even though they made different decisions at the beginning. They were down into Marsh Cave at the same time, making the same calls, and very close to each other. So here's our new seed. No, that's our old seed. All right. So our new seed, 48C 1070D, and let's see if these guys get that sorted out. Looks like Whappy's getting going. We'll see on his start screen when he gets that up that we have everything correct and matches up. For people who are unfamiliar with how Final Fantasy Randomizer works, it adds a so it lists the seed, lists the flags, and then down there you have a series of icons: hammer, sword, sword, hammer, bracelet, staff, and ideally all that stuff matches up on the left side, and then you should know that everything is fine on both places. We're just waiting for Will to get his ROM sorted out. That's true. Wait, actually, hold on. The chat is helpfully pointing out that your flags are wrong, Whappy. So we're gonna let him know. I wouldn't have noticed that. I was concentrating on all these other things on my screen. and everything is a huge mess. But that's gonna get sorted out too. Not even sure how that would happen. But yeah, so we've got the correct flags in here. The flag set on Will B's screen is correct.
But the seed is wrong.
But the seed is wrong.
So together they've got it right.
So how are you doing this afternoon, Edge?
I'm doing all right. Was not expecting some shenanigans in this race, but here we are, and I don't know. Let's hope for early Thor Hammer Zeus Gauntlet or something this time around.
See, the problem we had is that I didn't say clean race, guys, at the beginning, because you know, that's important. It helps people understand that there can't be any shenanigans.
Good clean fight, no hitting below the belt.
Exactly. But the chat pointing out that you have to expect this in a 4 Thief race. Everything's just going to be a complete mess. Shenanigans happening all over the place. And Whappy might be getting set up now with the right flag set. We can hope.
Oh, well, we'll take a look. Might be getting there.
Hey, that looks right. So we're halfway there. Living on a prayer. Okay, I'm just going to give a little recap because I think we have some people joining here slowly, trying to find out what's going on. We had a race startup, ironically, already a rematch between Wilby and Whappy from League of Legends and from Team DuckTales. And we got into the Marsh Cave after a series of running around and diving different things on the southern continent. And in the Marsh Cave, we discovered that there was a mismatch between the ROMs. A chest that appeared on Wilby's side was not on Whappy's side. And we did some investigating, and we had a problematic source ROM on Whappy's side. So we are getting going again with a new seed. We're waiting for Will B to get his new ROM with new seed altogether. And once that happens, we should be able to start again. Question from the chat, aren't you required to say it as DuckTales woohoo? No. Question from the chat. Let's try not to laugh after saying that. I definitely support Team DuckTales.
Woohoo!
I just, I don't want to get in copyright trouble. You never know. Anybody could be watching. Those two notes. You just got us arrested.
Yeah, we're good now. The VOD's muted. What have I done?
All right. Sorry, are you having a problem, Edge? Something muted?
No. What I was saying is we sing the DuckTales song and it's muted. Yeah,
we're just muted forever, and everybody goes home. Okay, so Will has the right seed, right ROM. Everything looks good, and he's making his 4 Thieves, and we're gonna see again what happens. We've got our tracker, Hypes Nova, standing by valiantly, waiting to get things going again. Thanks a lot, Hypes. And we're going to get going now. So strap in for try 3 of 4 Thieves Night afternoon. And here we go. Back to Canaria, back to shopping. Got some knives, got some sabers, cheap sabers.
So this is a little more of a nicer start, and still don't see people checking in with the king, but saber and fast and fire 3. Okay, so this is nice so far.
Yeah, they're gonna be set up once they have ninjas, though we don't know where Tail is this time around. And those silver bracelets this time around are 4.5k, so that's not going to be the easy defense that it was last time around. Whappy going the hand everybody big knives route, which is, always a classic with thieves.
Yeah. Will checking in on the nice assortment of level 1 spells, and this is, ooh, alright, I like this move. This could be a very, very swingy move. Let's see how this goes.
Got the canoe.
Interesting. So, Whappy going straight for Garland, and Garland has paralysis touch and hits like a truck. So, Will does have some options here.
Yeah, and it looks like we don't have anything crazy coming out of imps or grimps this time. Just some slows, so not too bad. But last time around we had a really nice run off the front of the encounter table. This time, not so much. It looks like those sabers are doing okay for Will.
Oh, but not against Blaze Grimps. Yikes. Yeah, I like this move from Will. I know that, the imps was slow, feels bad, but you're only hitting them once anyway, so it doesn't really do anything.
Bane Sword.
That is very nice, and that makes the Scarland fight a heck of a lot more doable. But, just going into Temple of Fiends with double health is pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's going to take, I think, a second imp fight for him to get there. But this is certainly a safer play. Don't like the ambush either, though. And Whappy's down to 2 thieves.
Yeah, Whappy decides to get out of town and go back to the other town. But
yeah.
Will maybe burnt a little bit by last time around. Oh, and imps have frost deep in their skill list, and that's no fun.
No. So this is significantly less doable, and Whappy makes it back to town. So that Bane Sword is for keeps now.
Yeah, now the imps are just frosting all over the place. And Will gives up on that imp strat. So Whappy goes up. Let's see how this goes. Bringing out the Bane Sword and immediately poison smokes Garland. And that's a nice thing you want to see at the early game.
Yeah, that Bane Sword, they are going to get a lot of mileage out of that early. So Whappy finds the canoe and the princess. We got a chime.
So the canoe is nice always to see early. That means that you don't have to worry about too much in this southern continent, tooling around, picking up your key items where you can. And it looks like Whappy is going to head over to Provoca, check out those pirates, and probably also let them see how the Bane Sword feels.
Yeah, and looks like Wappy's heading straight to provoke. I like this move. If you don't have save items, it feels kind of bad taking the trip to Matoya's cave.
Yeah, and with only 3 chests up there, you're probably okay, and unless you're really desperate, if you've...
Oh, there's Death Touch. Got instant death horses here.
Yeah, those horses take him out, making Wappy reset all the way back to Canaria, and he's going to have to check out the credits again, which are wonderful, but that eats up time.
Yeah, I mean, I like them. Yeah, it's a nasty bit of business. Unrunnable Death Touch Mad Ponies.
Will's getting set up for his run over there. I'm not sure if he had the cash to... Oh, no. The ponies are back.
Oh, they're back to saying nay. He's getting such bad rolls on the... Oh, no. He accidentally attacked. So, third time's the charm with the credits here.
Well, it took 3 times to get a good rematch. Well... Get a rematch going this far. Cross your fingers, knock on wood.
Okay, so here's the iguana. So if Will's on the roughly the same, he's gonna save after the credits. Veteran move here.
So ponies here, and Wappy just gives up on the whole provoke idea. He's just gonna head over to Dwarf.
Oh, the Bane Sword holder got killed.
It looks like Will survives the pony trip.
Yeah, but he's got another one. At least, I think he made it to another encounter zone. Because that second group was different.
And Will makes it into Provoca. We see level 2. We got Brack in there. Probably not much that's gonna be much of benefit later in the game. If we have
Brack wouldn't be too bad to get through Kraken and Tiamat. So, but for the second group of fiends, still a little difficult. And oh god, Hydras have trance. What is this? Creeps have hold. This is a lot of nasty stuff stacked up.
And we've got loot from the pirates, so that's not the floater, but at least we still got the canoe and still keep things rolling, and got some save items to buy here in Provoca, so that's gonna keep Will able to probably get himself to Crescent Lake.
Yeah, and importantly, Wappy is not gonna get punished for skipping out on the run to Provoca here.
So Wappy's totally out of save items here, but almost over there to Elfland. So as long as he doesn't run into anything.
Oh, well, the Blaze grimps, but he gets chance to strike first on both encounters. Limps into Elfland here.
Just squeaks in.
Oh god, that hospital bill was a little high.
There's the tail, 25k, so not going to be able to get that anytime soon, but after not too long, be able to pick that up. And Will's going for a pop grind.
With the Bane Sword, this is the group that you want to see, these Frost Wolves.
Oh,
so,
no, you don't.
Oh, they got Thunder again, huh?
Thunder from the Frost Wolves takes out the the Will Be crew, but he's gonna try out these giants with the Bane Sword and see how that goes.
And yeah, the Thunder on the Frostwolves is nasty too, just because they show up in Ice and they show up in Temple of Fiends, so good luck.
So Will takes out a couple of giants, and that's going to be nice, and he's able to save that progress with a cabin. So far so good. He's going to run into more Frostwolves, but he's able to reset out of those and get back to giants. Whappy, meanwhile, making his way through the river system, running into some Hydras, trying to bane them before they get him. And that works out too. So Bane Sword really getting good mileage out of that on both sides.
Yeah, and I kind of like Whappy's setup a little bit more. Just the Kareebs and the Hydras are not terrible when it comes to the Bane target. And even the Peds are doable. This, however, yeah, when you have Cobras that ambush you and then waste your time, you just need to get out.
And Trance out of the Hydra is stunning Whappy's whole party. That's no fun, but he seems like he's going to make it over to Crescent Lake, so we're going to see what's in here.
Yeah, early Floater here is going to make a huge difference. If not, would not be surprised to see Whappy head up to Provoca, and that's going to eat up a lot of time.
And Whappy's down to 29 gold. It's never a good feeling.
These are the can't even revive the thief.
All right, so let's see what the old men have in store for us today. It's an A-pressing fest. Oh, and it's the Floater.
All right, so this pays off huge for Whappy deciding to do this route, and I would not be surprised to see quite a lot in the way of key item and free chest acquisition here.
And it looks like Will be wrapped up his pop grind. He's picking up a few more items in Provoca. And he should probably be on his way next out of here. Seems like the kind of situation where doing a pop grind will make you feel a little bit better about levels, but you really probably don't want to spend too much time up there.
Yeah, and I think not only that, but this has been kind of a poor seed as well. So with respect to the pop grind, you do get a little bit of money from that too. The Giants do drop a nice chunk of change when you kill them. So
Whappy paying his visit to the pirates. Bane Sword making quick work of them. He's going to pick up his chime. I think it was the chime this seed.
Yeah, and then
actually,
yeah, the loot. So this is gonna allow Whappy to pick up a bunch of free chests. Probably the couple options that I think of is either do an armory dive for some money, or go to Matoya's cave and then route in Cardia Islands. I would be okay with either one.
Will be now making his way into Crescent Lake. Made really good time in comparison to Whappy's trip out here, so maybe not too far back. He doesn't know what's in Elfland, but with that pop grind, he's set up not too badly to continue on the heels of Whappy.
Yeah, and there's the trip to Matoya's cave. So stealing from the witch to give to the poor.
We got 1k silver bracelet. Nothing too crazy in there, but that silver bracelet's nice.
Yeah, Silver Bracelet is going to get some use through a good chunk of the game, and the Opal Shield, good for some quick cash. Will gets his floater, and he's off and running.
So much faster seed in this rematch. Is both of our players going to be up in the sky at around the 15-minute mark. Whappy checking in now.
Yeah, I like this move. If you find the Mystic Key, it's going to be pretty solid, but just vanilla rock.
And everybody's in the air now. That's gonna open things up for everybody. And Whappy heading over, just like you said, Edge, into Cardia, get some of those free chests in there as well.
Yeah, this is again, when you're running 4 Thieves, it's all about the equipment you can get, and the money in the equipment is going to help out a lot. Especially if Whappy finds a large gold chest, he can get the promotion out of the way very quickly. And that's going to help a lot gear-wise. Suddenly all of those swords that you find that are average become really nice.
Not too much in, excuse me, in the Swamp Cardia chests. And we'll be doing the same thing. So not too far behind in those terms, though he doesn't know that I think that the tail is on sale in Elfland, right?
Right. He hasn't been to Elfland yet.
Right.
There's a light axe, so another spellcasting item that will probably get some usage in Ice Cave for sure.
And I think a total of about 18k of gold in there too.
Yeah, there was a good chunk of gold. There's about 10k in the Swamp Cave. So Whappy probably has enough to buy the tail at this point.
We can see as he pops in here, yeah, he's got 30k, so, and he's going to get rid of some of these extra items, or maybe not, but he's ready to pop over to the item shop and pick up his tail.
I think he was going to unload that light axe if it sold for a lot more, but the Opal helmet and the Opal shield can definitely get dumped here, and yeah, that is a nice chunk of change.
So Whappy is our first one to buy the tail, our vendor item, this time around, and he'll be able to change his 4 thieves into 4 ninjas, which is a much more versatile set of characters as soon as you start getting some levels in them.
Yeah. Also of importance is he's got the money to pick up 99 heal potions, which is going to come in handy a lot for these upcoming dungeons with no source of healing. Not even a heal helmet or a heal staff. You need as many potions as you can get.
And we'll be just about to pop into the item shop here, and he's also got the money to buy a tail. He didn't even know that was there, so lucky for him, it was served up, and he gets to make his way over to Bahamut and do his promotions as well.
Alright, so quick promotions very likely means that it's going to be a full set of magic spells for the ninja by the end game, and we've seen Fast, we've seen Temper, we've seen Saber, so a lot of really good end game stuff. Still looking for the katanas, the Mazmutes, and the Vorpal though.
And we've also got Fire 3 in there at level 1, if I remember correctly. Along with Saber. And either Fast or Temper. I did make a note of that, but that's going to help as well. So once you get off the ground in terms of levels, things should be a lot easier.
Yeah, so I mean, Will also picked up his rod earlier. So with the just looking at the status of things right now in the tracker, this is pretty much an even race at this point.
Yeah, and that's really impressive considering that these guys already did quarter of one seed, and they made a few different decisions on the southern continent as the game was just getting going. But now these guys are making their purchases, setting up their ninjas, getting things set up so that they can start really diving into dungeons, and we'll probably see that pretty soon.
Yeah, Will is already picking up some of the nicer magic for the ninjas, quad X's and the like are pretty useful. And it's like Whappy is gonna do another marsh dive, not really feeling it with the equipment he's found, and maybe he doesn't feel comfortable enough to jet through. To jet through the volcano. But the light axe is gonna work pretty well on the undead stuff down here, and the bane sword is gonna work pretty well on everything else. So do not mind this play at all.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, having all that run capability down here means that if a lot of the time you're not going to have to spend too much time on each one of these encounters, and then when you do with a light axe and the bane sword, like you said, it's probably not too much of a trouble. 7.5k. We'll be picking up those spells that we were talking about. Temper, always good to have. That's gonna boost up your damage.
Yeah, you could probably get some mileage out of Zap as well. Oh god, Scums have poison. Never mind, this is bad.
Stone poison. But Whappy gets out of there at least, and he finds a Thor hammer and an ice armor.
Yeah, so I think you definitely walk these out. Thor hammer is a pretty solid item, and also ninja equipable. So, hey, same with the light axe and the bane sword. So,
yeah, one thing that's easy to forget, at least for me, is the versatility of ninjas in terms of how much equipment they can actually use. Certainly a lot better than having a black belt or a master, I suppose.
yeah, the early promotion is going to help a lot. Suddenly, just all of that gear that you were carting around that you couldn't equip, it's going to come in handy now. And the ice armor on the front character is going to eat a lot of damage too. Those zombies and the ghouls now with their multiple hits. They had a back row character for 50, but they hit the front row character for 1. So a lot more survivability. See where Will's headed off too.
Yeah, it looks like he's stopping into Provoca maybe to pick up a little bit more magic. Yeah, looks like that's what he's doing, magic shopping. And Whappy really looks like he has the Marsh Cave down to a science at this point. Very fast with the battles.
Alright. Now the moment of truth.
And we have a chest in the right place, so everything is looking okay, at least so far.
Should be good.
Gonna have to start giving that chest a name. Chest of Destiny. And Will pokes into the volcano, and we're gonna probably see what is going on in this first chest, 2.5k, and then the armory.
Oh, Whappy finds the defense sword too. That is a nice pickup, and moves that Thor hammer down to Thief.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk in the community this week about the versatility of Marsh Cave dives and whether you want to do that early. Can you? Does it make sense? When should you do it? And it really looks like Whappy decided that this is a good call, and you've been pointing that out too, Edge. But I wonder if Will B is gonna think the same thing, and if not, Whappy's gonna have that advantage going forward.
So the thing is, Will is making the play that I would make in this situation, which is dive volcano. You're gonna have to come here anyway.
Okay, so we have Sandworms,
which is not a bad fight, but at level 4 you're kind of not ready for this. But Bane Sword hits and Defense Sword goes off, so this might be an encounter where you just hang around a little bit to get some levels.
Yeah, that one Bane seemed a little lucky. I don't know if he's going to get another Bane to land, but he's definitely going to keep trying. And he's got a couple defenses off, so that's, yeah, and he uses the Thor Hammer and gets the Sandworm kills, so that's going to be a nice chunk of experience.
Yeah, he's, doubling everyone's level here is pretty nice, and
a pro ring out of the deal too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just go for it again. This is just too nice of a opportunity for levels to pass.
Yeah, and earlier we were talking about, or probably we're talking about, I don't even remember anymore. We've done this a couple times around, but the thieves are handicapped early by not having magic, but now that Whappy has so much equipment, he doesn't have to worry about spell charges. He just has to worry about surviving those hits, and he's got ice armor, so this really seems to be working out. He brings everybody up to level 10.
Yeah, Sandworms, when they haven't rolled anything nasty, are one of the nicer enemies in the game for getting levels, and yeah, probably good to. Ooh, there is a loose bottle though, so that's a nice find by Will.
Yeah, so Will is going to have that bottle, be able to turn that into a fairy, let the fairy out, and go visit her in Gaia. So that's potentially will turn into something required, and that means that Whappy's going to have to spend that time to get there too.
We got a solo sea troll guarding that back treasure chest there.
Yeah, and Will's down to 2 thieves and not taking a run out to heal them up. So I wonder if there's a gold bracelet. That's nice. And I wonder if he's just going to stick with these 2 because that's the only people he's putting equipment on too.
Yeah, and he certainly could be equipping some of that iron gear as well. Ice sword, always nice to find.
Yeah, the ice sword is big damage, and that's it's not as good as a defense sword. It doesn't have a secondary use, and the defense sword has a little bit more damage, but still really solid.
Yeah, so lots of good stuff down in Marsh Cave, but I think at this set of levels I would probably book it. I wouldn't begrudge Whappy for trying to go to 15 to get magic, but I think ooh, Will takes a wipe. That's no good.
Oof. And that was to some Sphinxes? I didn't even see.
It was the ogre, green ogre, wiz ogre, and hyena fight.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, Georges have nuke.
Oh no. So you only get that encounter once in a while, but when it does pop up, you're gonna win the lottery.
Yeah, well, I mean, you will run into 4 of them, and
just like this here.
Oh, they have an ambush. That would explain it. So maybe the 4 green ogre tile on Earth might not be so bad.
So Will at least knows what chest to skip now, so he's able to go right for the ice sword and whatever else he wants down here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the sea troll is guarding the gold bracelet, which I think is nice enough to want to go into. And there's the sea snake too.
Sea snake just has Scorch, and the Bane comes out and takes care of the troll. So that's not potentially too bad. Those snakes can sometimes have more HP than I would like personally.
Yeah, it's the combination of that and the fact that they have a skill list that is a little.
Looks like he gets through that okay, and Whappy's wrapped up his sandworm grind down here. So as long as he gets out, which seems pretty likely with these levels now and the equipment he has, he should be pretty content with this marsh trip.
Yeah, it gets to level 12 on everyone, and
So far, we don't have any orbs, but we do have level 12 on Whappy's side. Will, as it looks like he might make it out of the volcano, but he's finding those Gur ogres again, and that's gonna be scary with their nuke.
manages to get away from him this time.
And he's out, so he can save that stuff. He's got his gold bracelet, he's got a little bit more levels, and he's got that ice sword, and he heads back in. And meanwhile, Whappy is taken off from Marsh. He can make a little pit stop in Elfland, get some more of that nice Quad X on his ninjas, and then potentially he's going to head over to probably somewhere in Will B's vicinity, whether it's the volcano or the ice cave.
Yeah, the big time advantage for Will is no white magic today, Whappy. So, the big advantage for Will is that he's done all of the shopping already, so he doesn't really need to make any special trips from here on out.
And it looks like Will's coming out of the volcano again. We'll see where he ends up after that. He's only at level 8 compared to Whappy's 12, so he's going to pick up some more equipment, or some diving equipment in terms of... Well, he's got 91 heals.
So Whappy picking up the fourth thief. Let's see if the shopping trip continues.
Will having a bit of a pause to think for a second. A situation I'm familiar with. And Whappy is in the ice cave now.
Yeah, the heck with shopping. Let's go right for it.
We'll see if we have any bad situations down here. Sometimes some of these wraiths, some of these different undead down here can be a bit of a pain, and we'll have those frost wolves down here as well, so that's potentially going to be a pain with thunder.
Yeah, and Whappy only has 14 heal potions, so if this first dive doesn't go so well, I would be very inclined to just, just get up and leave. Go get some more heal potions.
He heard you. He gets into a wizard encounter, resets, and decides, actually, it probably is better to have more than 14 heals.
Yeah, so not a bad decision to stop and stock up here. This item shop is a little bit out of the way, but you can pick up Brack on everybody when you're in the neighborhood.
And Will actually did decide to go into Marsh, so he may... I think the defense is on this floor. Might not be, actually. I might have that wrong, but he's probably going to go
Thor Hammer's on this floor.
Yeah, the Thor Hammer is here. You're right. And so he's going to get that, and if he decides to go the rest of the way with it, he'll pick up that defense, and maybe they'll, pass each other a little bit, and we'll see how they match up in terms of who's ahead of who right now. Because right now, I think it feels a little bit like Wappy's in front, but it feels like that could also change. Shadow Walker in the chat pointing out that Ice Armor and Thor Hammer are both down there, and that's what Will B just picked up.
Yeah, really a nice starter set for ninjas there. And there's Fire 3, Saber, and Fast on everybody.
Will saves his equipment, and he's ready to head back into the south half of Marsh. And not having too much trouble so far, which is good to see. And it means that Wappy's equipment lead is going to get reduced after Will picks up his set of stuff.
Yeah, and Wappy picking up some more silver bracelets. Don't mind this at all. Oh, we got bucklers! Heck yeah!
I mean,
I love
you got
it.
The money.
The much maligned buckler.
It's the name, you know. If they had just named it something else, but you know, some guy in 1300 AD was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna call this a buckler.
How dare you insult the good name of Mr. Buck?
All right, Wappy's headed over to the Earth Cave, and meanwhile, Will B finds his sandworms, and we'll see how he handles those. And Wappy just finds zombies and trolls.
Yeah, so not so good on this layer. Okay, well, maybe if they have only 120 health.
And Will picks up his pro ring, and we'll see if he's also going to decide to take advantage of this sandworm tile. It seems like it's just begging for you to take at least a little bit advantage and get a couple levels, and that's what he does. We'll see how many levels he decides to pick up here.
Yeah, Wappy is being given the business by this this troll here, and just decides not worth it.
Yeah, that seems like the right call here. There's not really that much you're going to get out of it. It's eating up a bunch of time, and instead you could be using your time productively, checking out some chests, visiting some cobras that have Inv 2.
This formation designed to waste your time.
And the crystal.
Oh wow, what a find! So loose bottle in Volcano and loose crystal in Earth.
And it's the first chest that he checks in there, so doesn't have to waste any time at all in Earth in terms of finding a crystal, but he's got to keep checking.
Just not gonna sit there for that ambush.
So do you think this is the right play, Edge? Continuing to dive instead of taking your crystal and potentially your bottle. Oh, no, sorry. Will has the bottle, but taking your crystal and turning it in immediately.
It depends. Like, the fact that you're checking the top part of Earth, it means you can just reset out if you don't find anything exciting. Like for Frost Dragons, I'm good.
Yeah, and Wappy decides he's also good. And will be still taking sandworm fights. I didn't see what level he's on now. But he's got to be at least around 11 at this point. Got some unrunnable bulls. Go bulls.
The unrunnables.
Oh no. I thought what I said was bad already.
It can always get worse.
Since I have to thank Edgeworth for his fantastic pun ability, I'm also going to thank Hypes Nova, our tracker for tonight, and Randomania2 for hosting us. Thank you as always. And for more info on Final Fantasy Randomizer, that's at finalfantasyrandomizer.com. And you can find info about the league. Our players here are very close to each other in terms of Z-score, which is a complicated math thing I'm not going to get into right now. But they're very close to each other in the league. It's a very tight race, and they're representing the first and second best teams in the league. So that's why they have some high skills, and we've got the TNT for Matoya.
All right, the fetch chain continues, but if this turns into a long, intercontinent chain, then it's really not so bad because each of those key items is a nice bump in experience. And is Will going down to just one thief? Are we gonna see a solo grind here?
Wow, yeah. So he's up to level 16 with his solo ninja, and I'm not sure if that was deliberate or not. I also didn't see what the TNT turned into.
Oh no, Will, no, you can use more than one.
The TNT turned into Cube. Thanks, Dolphin, in the chat.
Yeah, so Cube is a nice pickup, and now with a big old pile of heal potions, this dungeon feels a lot better.
And Will not even trying to equip the defense sword on his ninja. He's got the Bane sword. I guess he's happy with it. And he puts him in front, so maybe this is a deliberate strategy. And this poison rolls out, but he's got that one ribbon on his ninja. And unrunnable wizards on Wappy's side. That caused him to reset out last time, but he's okay now.
Yeah, now that he has the potions to heal through it, he's okay. And, also, they didn't roll very high health.
And some sorcerers here, some wolves on the left side for Will. He's going to make his way out. And the chat pointing out that he doesn't have a ribbon, and I was wrong. So, yeah, I misremembered. That happened last time around, but there's no ribbon yet.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Got smacked by the poison after doing that grind and loses all of those levels. So this is a pretty big setback for Will.
Yeah, that's
rough,
but we got double.
Oh, wow. This is gross. Thought the sandworms were good. You were. Seem to have a good chunk of absorb, but this is another good place to get some levels.
Yeah, so that brings Wappy up to 11 on those double eyes, and he can take as many of those as he likes. Meanwhile, Will is probably not feeling great about that wipe for sure, and we'll see if he decides to just immediately go down to 1, or if that was actually a complete accident, or what's going on over here.
Yeah, I suspect that wasn't intentional. But Wappy is going to go down to significantly less.
We've got triple eyes now, and that is pretty great. So it looks like this tile is going to give you 2 or 3. I don't know if 4 could come in here.
I think it's only 3, but still, that's a heck of a lot better than a lot of other tiles that you can find.
Yeah, and so Will's back up to level 11, so that's not too bad, and he's down to 2 ninjas. Meanwhile, Wappy's up at 16. So, Edge, as far as number of ninjas that you would end up keeping up here, do you think you would go down to 2, or would you be tempted to have 4 up? For either of these guys in either situation. Yeah.
So for Will's case, I would not want to have. I would want to have as many of them alive as possible because there is something that could wipe your whole party out. On Wappy's side, I haven't seen the rest of Ice yet, and there could be some really nasty stuff in here. So I would probably be tempted to just stick with 2.
And we do know those Frostwolves are on the bottom with their Thunder.
Yeah, Thief 1 and Thief 2, they're both gonna get a good chunk of magic from this anyway. So 3 and 4, oh god, another scum fight for Will. Takes another wipe.
That's gotta be rough. And Will takes a moment to collect himself on the start screen.
Yeah, there's the gear down here is so good that you have to take a shot at digging it out.
Yeah, and at this point, personally, I'd probably be thinking, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to grind anymore. I'm just going to go, I'm going to get my defense, whatever else I can on the way, and then just get out.
Yeah, and that's going to be 100% the right call with this tile available in Ice, so the sooner he does that, the better off he'll be.
Another pack of eyes brings Wappy up to 19 on 3 thieves, 3 ninjas.
Yeah, so Thief 2 has 2 magic charges. All the rest of the thieves have 3, and then the 2 that stay alive are going to have 4.
Another pack of scums for Will. He wants to get away from that. He's not... Oh, he does. He does it. So that's 1 encounter down. And it looks like he is just skipping over the whole sandworm situation. Goes right for defense.
And Thief 1 just does not want to die on Wappy's side, so... There he goes.
So Wappy down to 2 ninjas, and he's probably going to stick with that. Will has 1 or 2 stoned ninjas on the left, and he had to go and pick a soft out of a chest just so he could thaw one of them out. But he's in a rough state, and he's got to climb out of there.
So the ninja gets 4 hits with the katana at 29, so that would be a good power break point. With the Mazmune, the ninja gets the 4th hit at 22 and the 5th hit at 38. So I think 38 right now would be a little excessive.
And Will actually does go visit the sandworms with his 1 poisoned, 1 stoned, 1 dead party, and we'll be putting in some time here again. Hopefully he can use this productively and get out with it. But it's not a good situation, I would say.
Yeah, I think Will wanted to grind at some point and just felt like this is as good as it gets, and he's going to get bodied by the sandworms.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah, I think definitely some tilt going on here. Whereas if he had just wrote off his losses, he would find a much better spot.
Yeah, and this early in the game, you gotta make that decision between, all right, is this actually the tile where I need to do this, or am I in a situation that's good enough that I can get to some other set of trap tiles and just bet that something there is going to be able to be my grind spot, and that paid off.
Yeah, with the shuffles, including the enemy groups that don't normally exist, I feel like there are a nice large set of really premium grind fights that you can find, and it's worth just continuing to scout for them until you happen to find your 3 eyes, your double fighters, your green Medusas. Double sandworms is really nice, but it's kind of slow to get started with that early, and I don't know, maybe later game that would be a nice one to go out as well, but not right now.
Whappy's now up to 26 on his 2 standing ninjas, and so he's definitely getting closer to where he wants to get to, and but he's still going.
Yeah, and of note, with around the neighborhood of 370 health, you could probably eat a couple of thunders, and unless the 5-pack trap tile shows up down here, you're only going to see them like 2 at most.
So unless something else down here has something really brutal. But on the other hand, I've definitely been in situations where you fall through one of those holes, you hit that first trap tile coming out of the small room, and that's stacked with some kind of dragon that absolutely destroys you. And he's put so much time into this grind now that he's got to make it, and it's a one-way ticket.
Yeah, that's the other rough thing about this. If he gets into, say, an Iron Goal fight, his only recourse is going to be pop defense sword 3 times and keep spamming Thor hammer, and that just doesn't feel good. So there are definitely some risks with this, which is why I'm a little skeptical of doing this before you've seen the rest of the ice cave. But I can certainly see why Whappy wants to do this. And if he succeeds, he's pretty much set for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and knowing that they had lots of warning about this 4-thief party pick that they had made previously, it's probably one of those situations where you know in the back of your mind that if you see something really good, and there's very few things that are better than a 2 and 3 eye tile, then you're probably going to make that decision like, this is where I'm doing it, and I'm going to have to go all the way with it. Meanwhile, Will made it out. He's got his defense sword. He didn't pick up any levels from the sandworms, but he is in ice now, and if he checks out the tile that Whappy did, then maybe he won't feel so bad. Well, he'll feel bad for wasting that time, but at least he'll be able to make some levels up.
Yeah, and also consider that Whappy is doing a 2-man grind. If Will decides to just go for a straight-up solo grind to 50, that could be a big difference in strategy.
So, it's 30, level 30. That Whappy gets to, and he decides to go out the front way.
I don't blame him for this at all. And oh god, Sorcerers had quad X, so the HP paying off already.
That is rough, but he makes it out of that fight as well. Our Bones not too much of trouble, but will be. Now he's got those. Oh, and the quad X comes out.
Well, I don't think Will will be too unhappy about the quad X when he sees what this tile is.
And Will gets the eye tile. Probably a little traumatized from his sandworm experience, but let's see what happens here. Oh, and those wraiths are hitting for pretty hard. There was a crit there for a 106 on these ninjas, so a bad ambush, and you could really have your day ruined here.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that Whappy is heading out, though I totally understand it. Having access to Fire 3 and all the spells from that grind is going to make Ice Cave, I don't know, almost feel pretty trivial at this point.
Yeah, Whappy pops the cabin immediately, and he's got his grind in the record books, so good move, and he's going to pick up those 2 thieves as well.
Yeah, so lots of spell charges to burn on the way down here. Makes the rest of Ice Cave going to feel a lot more safe. And Will's just going to keep on going.
Yeah, and there's a saber-tooth trap there, a shark, nothing too crazy. And he's going to find out what's in here. Copper Gauntlet, 66 gold, nothing to write home about. And Whappy is all suited up and ready to go back to the ice cave and continue down. Pile of gold there, 17k, power staff. And got these frost giants and wolves. That thunder is gonna take Will B out.
Oh,
What a rough experience for Will.
yeah. Will has just had been run through the blender, the old blender of RNG in this seed, and they're just, I don't know. Like I've said before, there are just some seeds where the randomizer says, "Nah, sorry, you're just not gonna win today."
Yeah, the guys roll out with poison, and Will just resets, and he's not even gonna bother with that. Question from the chat: Will stop the grind already? Yeah. So Will Bloodworth ran into the eye tile. He checked it out once, maybe twice, and decided not to bother with that right now. So we're gonna see if Will potentially checks that out, but these sorcerers with Blizzard, 2 blizzards come out and just destroy Will again.
Yikes! This has been an absolutely cruel seed. So.
And we know those sorcerers also have quad X, so if the blizzard doesn't get you, that one will.
And I don't know. It's looking like a really good move to walk out and cash in those levels.
Yeah, Whappy's just drowning in HP now, and not gonna have too much trouble from anything down here until potentially one of those encounters that we just saw. And Will doesn't waste any time with the sorcerers this time around. He runs immediately, gets away. So at least those ninjas can get that done. Oh, and 5 waters and a nega here for
Oh boy, and yeah, this is one of those where they don't really care very much about your current spell loadout. I don't know. I would be very tempted to throw out a bunch of zaps at this point, because anything that you can do to thin this this crowd out, you will be better off.
all those ninjas in the dark now from those waters, and 103 for hits. So waters are no joke. They hit like a truck. And on your left side of the screen, Will is now doing his eye grind, looks like, and doesn't want to mess around anymore. Too many dangerous things here in ice, so makes sense now to be heading into that eye grind and trying to catch up with Whappy. But these waters are definitely gonna take some resources and time. Got Thor Hammer coming out, not really doing too much, and he's going to rely on Zap, which has a medium amount of effectivity here, but they have over 300 HP, clearly, because Quad X does nothing. Will getting up now to 13.
Yeah, and this would be just an absurdly difficult fight if not for the fact that you had magic available. Still not fun for anyone, though.
Yeah, and this just gives us a preview of the kind of encounters that you could run into on the water floor of the Temple of Fiends Revisited at the end of the game. And you got those waters come out. Does this... I don't know enough about the mechanics to know if this means that there's an unrunnable encounter like this in Topher Edge. Is that going to be the case?
Yeah, I don't know. This the Naga water tile is not very common, so I would be we'll go with Brack strats now, but this might be the end for Whappy here.
And this encounter really ate up a bunch of his time too, so if he doesn't make it... Oh, and that's another death. Banesword doesn't do anything. Banesword coming out again.
No 3 and 256 for you.
Nope. That's Whappy's wipe in Ice Cave. So Ice Cave not treating anybody nicely, despite the fact that it is packed full of ices. And Fuchsia points out in the chat that it's the Nega and 5 Waters is actually super rare in Topher. So I believe Fuchsia knows what he's talking about. So maybe that won't be trouble later on, but it's definitely trouble now.
So yeah, definitely a good move for Whappy to walk out and save those levels then, because he would have gotten absolutely bodied by that fight.
Will be now up to level 17, and while Whappy has to deal with a big old pack of wizards, unrunnable. And level 19 and 21 for Whappy's ninjas, so doing pretty well, but Will's getting up there. Wait, sorry, 19 and 21 on the Thief 2 and 1, and then in the 30s for his other two. Thorhammer coming out on those eyes. Will be at this for a while, catching up to Whappy in terms of levels. We'll see what Will decides is his goal for levels. He's at 18 now. There's lots of choices. There are many numbers.
Yeah, this Ice Cave has been a bit of a struggle, so remains to be seen how both runners elect to deal with some of the nastiness down here.
And Whappy makes his way down into the ice floor with chests. He's probably not going to say hi to those water elementals this time around.
I don't know. I still think that fight is doable if you just spam Zap, but I can definitely see why Whappy wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, but he might be. Let's see. He's picking up the gold. He's got his heal. He thinks about it. He takes a look at his party. And he decides, nah, never mind.
Alright, so one chest left unchecked. I don't blame him at all for this.
Still potentially some encounters that could be a pain, but probably not too much. He's not too far from the exit now. He's got a couple chests here he can check out. Here's some wraiths, no big deal. And those unrunnable wizard pack, but they don't seem to have too much. And at this point, they're even running away, so not going to cause too much trouble for Whappy. And we are past the hour mark in this second run, so thanks for sticking with us, everyone, and thanks for lasting through that. The first time in Season 2 where we've had to call in the judges in the middle of a race and make a call. And so we had to restart due to a ROM problem. But things are definitely on the move now in our second time through. We've got Whappy from Team DuckTales and willbloodworth from Legends of League. For some reason, Whappy's music stopped there for a second. I guess that happens when you menu so fast.
Yeah, the infamous sound glitch. All this for the ruby! Oh no!
Wow. Well, you can hand that in and, you know, check out what's in the Titan's treasure for a few chests, but yeah, there's nothing down here. Just a big old ruby, but lots of levels.
Yeah, the big old middle finger. Oh god. And we'll continuing to grind up. Let's see what level he's in and do a little check-in on Will's grind. And he's got enough that he's not getting levels every fight. Meanwhile, Whappy is heading into the volcano. And Will's had that bottle for a while now, but has not cashed it in. So we'll see. You know, once Whappy digs this out, what he ends up coming up with.
And we've got that Ogre fight, not causing too much trouble though, and Whappy picking up his set of stuff in here. He'll find his sea troll and snake encounter, but he doesn't mess with it at all, and grabs his gold bracelet. And it looks like Will is at 24 on 3 ninjas. So he's getting up there, but he's going to take more time because he's got 3 up rather than 2.
Yeah, it's about all the spell charges you could ask for, though, so. And there's a Gurpy that is just going to get bopped.
And Will decides 25 on his 3 ninjas is the right number for him, and he's going to take that and walk all the way out as quickly as he can.
Yeah, not even gonna bother getting destroyed by that tile there. And well, Whappy gets the bottle, and then here's some Ogres that run away. Level grind paying off. Nuke never even saw it.
And Will has to fight off some unrunnable wizards on the way out, but they don't have anything crazy as far as we know, so not too much of a problem. Does check out 1 chest, 210. He checks out this other easy chest down here for his iron armor. And he is out with his levels. So we'll be taking 25, level 25 on 3 ninjas. Whappy on the same tile took level 30 on 2 ninjas. It's probably similar amount of XP for both when you work it out. And Wilby heads right back in. He wants to see what those chests are. Whappy doesn't really have to worry about anything in the volcano anymore. He's just able to chop through most things, run from anything he doesn't want to chop, and pick up everything in the chests here. And Whappy heads out, saves, and he's gonna head right back in, and he's gonna go down to the next floor of Volcano and start working his way potentially towards Carry, so we can see an orb get lit sometime before 90 minutes, which is the kind of speed that you're probably gonna normally expect from a 4 Thief Seed, but he's definitely well set now. And it looks like Will B is actually gonna go get more levels. 25 is not enough. We'll be pausing for a second. And his timer's going, so must just be something else going on there. But we'll see. Oh, and Whappy finds the max gold chest. So 4,095 gold, 11k. He's really set for gold now. And he's got that sea troll and snake again, but not going to cause him much trouble because he can run. Flame armor, always good pickup. Almost as good as the ice armor. I think the ice armor is just a little bit better, but now he's got both of the elemental armors. Not much you can do that's better for ninjas in terms of equipment. And let's see where Will goes for levels. He's got he's already in the mid-20s somewhere. Maybe he's also gonna head up to 30. Maybe he paused because he was looking up what level he really wanted to get to. Whappy picking up more chests, another heal helmet. Sorry, not another heal helmet, a heal helmet. And yeah, question from the chat, where is the rod from? There was a vanilla rod at Sarda, so yeah, Will didn't do his key item pickup early on. He picked up the floater a little bit after Whappy, so even though the floater was pretty fast this seed, he was a little behind, and he's trying to catch up here. More eyes. More eyes. Getting all the eyes. And Whappy heads over to the protected chest down here at the bottom floor of the volcano. Just some arachnids on the first trap tile, so no big deal. But the second one sometimes has a little surprise in store. So Whappy's going to heal up, make sure he's all safe. Level 27 for Will B. And it's 6 bad men, but that's no problem. He can run away, and he gets 11 gold. And Whappy is prepping for the carry fight. He reorganizes his party. He's got lots of options now, and he's going to fast his Thief number 4 and run Sabers on 3 and 4, which makes a lot of sense. he's going to have a lot of attack power coming out of them. He's going to try 2 bracks. He's going to do some tempers. Excuse me. And big hits on carry. 300s, 500s, and carry is toast. Didn't really stand a chance. And that is the fire orb for Whappy. The first orb lit, and he's clearly in a pretty good place for damage at this point. Not going to have too much trouble hitting more of those fiend dungeons. And just shy of 1 hour 15, Whappy picks up his fire orb. Will be still grinding up. He's going to hit level 29 here just in a second if he's not already there. Whappy picks up what he wants in Crescent Lake, and he's going to drop into Gaia and see what's shaking. Don't think he has the bottle, but he is going to check out. There's some gold bracelets. They're 37k, and when you have 440k in the bank, you can pick up as many of those as you want. So he's going to do some selling and replace those spaces with some shiny gold bracelets. And from the chat, Whappy does have the bottle. So, okay, we'll have to update that on the tracker. We've been at this for a while, so you know the crew is slowly dying, but we've been doing a pretty good job so far. So thanks, everybody. Edge just has to go for a quick break. He's sorting out some stuff, and we've got the fire orb over here, and we've got the bottle. So, and so Whappy turned in that bottle, and he picked something up. I didn't get a chance to see that, so if you did see that, let me know in the chat, and I can pop that onto a tracker. Will is continuing. Oh, and it looks like he got the key. And that is great. So he's able to pop into the key lock locations. Elfland has a pile of stuff in there, so that's good. It's always good to have a little bit more gold, even when you're carrying that much around. It's nothing to sneeze at. And we'll be still grinding up. He's been grinding up for a long time. Let's see what's in Canaria Locked. We have a flame shield, a little bit of money, opal armor, 10k heal, and 92 gold. So that flame shield, not bad. And that means he can move his pro cape up, so that's nice. Opal armor doesn't do you anything, and when you've got this party layout, and Whappy is so swimming in money at this point that he just throws the opal armor to the ground and continues on. We'll see what's shaking here in the Northwest Castle. And Will's finally done with his grind up. Looks like he hit 30. And not too much that's going to give him any trouble now with 3 ninjas at 30. But, oh, and the Vorpal. The Vorpal is here. And stopping to pick that up is going to be a pretty big, good choice for Whappy. And that's going to give him a little bit more firepower on his ninjas. He's able to take that and smugly go to the dwarf cave and check out what's in here. Got some gold and the katana along with the ice shield. So now that Whappy has the katana, he has the Vorpal, he has the defense. There's really nothing he needs in terms of offense at this point. He's also got the ice sword. So really, you know, he could get the Mazmune and the Excal, but those are the only 2 items in the game that are any better than what he's got in terms of some of the best swords in the game. So Whappy can pretty much chop through anything. Got some reports that the stream is freezing up. Shouldn't be doing that. Let me know if it doesn't come back for you, but looks like here that that everything should be okay. Yeah, okay. So there's some quality issues with the stream. It's not really what you want to see, considering how much that we've gone through to get this going and off the ground. And restream number 3. It should come back itself after a little bit. Let me know in the chat if there are continued problems with the stream. But it looks like it's... No, it looks like it's not great, actually. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I think it's probably going to catch up, though. So, as I was saying, we've got some... Whappy has every weapon that he could possibly really want right now. I mean, you could get Mazmune, we could get Excalibur, but you don't really need that at this point. You don't need to worry about it. So Whappy can pretty much go mode, except for looking for some more key items and some more, maybe some more defense equipment if he really wants. But he's got some really good stuff. And Will B got his key, so he's able to do some checks here. We're going to see if he decides to check out Northwest Castle as well and pick up his Vorpal. And he does, so that's good for him. Not going to be missing too much, and considering he's stopping there, he's probably also going to make his way over to the Dwarf Locks as well and pick up what's in there. So Whappy is in Ordeals. He hasn't had too much stopping him there. Some Medusas, he has to take care of those, but not too much of a problem. Gargoyles also not really gonna take too much, just gotta run and not bother with them.